External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has made a strong statement on terror on the sidelines of the UNGA, UN General Assembly. In the presence of Pakistan's Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif, she said that India strongly condemns terror and there can be no justification of any act of terror. This is the time of the year when the United Nations General Assembly sits, and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is there, and she has made a strong statement on terror on the sidelines of UNGA. In the presence of Pakistani Foreign Minister, she says that India strongly condemns terror and that there can be no justification of any act of terror. Let me go across to my colleague Aditya Rajkol. He joins me with more information on this. Aditya, what exactly and what more has the External Affairs Minister said? Significantly, she says so in the presence of Pakistani Foreign Minister on the sidelines of UNGA.
Well, yes, it is an important development coming in on the sidelines of the UNGA. Remember, terrorism is an important issue that will be discussed threadbare. Already Donald Trump, the US president, in his maiden speech has spoken about destroying completely from the face of the earth Islamic terrorism. He condemned those states who have been sponsoring terror as well. Now, there are several sideline meetings that have been on the sidelines of the UNGA, including that of the SAARC and also the SCO, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, this was the meeting of the foreign ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting. India has recently become a member of the same. Pakistan is also a member of the SCO in its last meeting in Kazakhstan that happened. And now Sushma Swaraj, while participating in this meeting, has condemned terrorism, has condemned states that have been sponsoring terrorism and providing safe haven and safe sanctuaries. So without naming Pakistan, of course, condemning state-sponsored terrorism, and that too in presence of the newly sworn Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Khwaja Asif. So clearly a big development coming in. Sushma Swaraj, the External Affairs Minister of India, raising the issue, the all-important issue of state-sponsored terrorism, and in fact asking the global community to come together to condemn it and also take steps so that those states who have been sponsoring it are isolated completely. What
have been the reactions to Sushma's statement on the sidelines of UNGA? That's a very, very strong and tough statement by the Indian External Affairs Minister. Have you had any reactions from others, like China would be there too, Pakistan of course is there?
Well, yes, there has been growing support on the issue of terrorism, because it's not just India and Afghanistan in South Asia that have become victims of state-sponsored terrorism emanating from the Pakistani soil, but also, the global community. We have seen recent terror attacks in UK, all across Europe and several other countries as well. So global community realizes the consequences of terrorism, and if one remains a mute spectator, then certainly, it is almost like supporting a perpetrator of terrorism. China has also realized the same. China has been doing course correction. In the recent BRICS statement as well, we saw how China supported naming and shaming terror organizations based in Pakistan, including that of Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. So certainly, will China also back India at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, although, the main agendas were different, but certainly security remains a focal point at the SCO as well. And later in the day, we will see at the SAARC meeting of the ministers, perhaps Sushma Swaraj again speak up, because remember, a SAARC meeting is going to be held later this year. Will it be happening in Pakistan? Because recently Khwaja Asif has said he's in touch with several countries to organize that SAARC meeting. Last year, if you remember, Sheetal,
yes,
it did not happen
because all
the states came together and said we will not visit Pakistan because it has been sponsoring terror.
Yeah, it could not happen last year, and there is a big question mark even now whether it would happen in Pakistan or not. Thank you very much, Aditya. All right, continue to stay with us. Just to give a little background to our viewers on what exactly has happened. Sushma Swaraj, India's External Affairs Minister, she has made a very strong and tough statement on terror on the sidelines of UN General Assembly in New York. Meanwhile, Organization of Islamic Countries has once again provoked India. They have spoken up on Kashmir. The OIC rakes up the K card again, claiming there is lawlessness in Kashmir. India will issue a rebuttal soon. Pakistan continues to meddle in India's affairs. Pakistan's K rhetoric, Kashmir Raga, continues, as we know, always, whenever it has its representatives internationally on any forum, it does not forget to talk about Kashmir. An Organization of Islamic Countries of which Pakistan is a part has once again provoked India speaking up on Kashmir. Aditya continues to stay with us. Aditya, OIC has been towing Pakistan's line for long, for long. This is nothing new. They have been doing it, and this does not have any impact internationally as far as Kashmir and India is concerned. It doesn't really have any impact.
Absolutely. OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, has been a group based on the religious grounds globally. So certainly it does not have much value. It is an isolated group completely, which has been meeting every year once or twice. So the question really is that India just a few days ago had raised a warning against the OIC, asking very firmly the Organization of Islamic Cooperation not to meddle in the internal affairs of India, including on that issue of Jammu and Kashmir, because Jammu and Kashmir remains an integral part of India. That's what India has reminded the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. But the OIC contact group has yet again met in New York on the sidelines of the UNGA, and we have a press statement from the Pakistani Foreign Office which says that the OIC contact group on Jammu and Kashmir reaffirms its solidarity with the Kashmiri people. It also says that in his statement, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan said that since 1989, due to the oppression unleashed by the Indian occupying forces, more than 95,000 Kashmiris had embraced Shahada. So these are the terms
that's largely a Pakistan-led propaganda, Aditya, as we know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting us that information. Thank you very much.